Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I guess I'm in such a good mood today. I don't know what's happening, but anyway, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Suleeha. For people that do not know me, I'm a Nigerian YouTuber residing in Ontario, Canada, and my content is basically all about vlogs, talks, and then the most important one, and I think the one that my channel is really, that I get to talk much on, is all about DIY immigration to Canada. And if my content is your type of content, please take a quick dive into my other videos, have a look around, see what interests you, share with your friends, and if you find it worthy, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. So today's video just concludes my whole series on visiting Canada, what you need to do, letter of invitation, letter of explanation. This video just seals it up for me, and what today's video is going to be talking about is what happens next after you've gotten a refusal, whether for a visitor's visa or for a study permit. What do you do next? So today's topic, and I just feel like today's topic is not something that you really get people, when they refuse someone a visa, it's just, oh, they refused me and that's it. And it is very, very okay to feel devastated, to feel bad. In fact, to cry sometimes, like, these people, what they did is bad though. Money, time, and all of that, it is absolutely fine to feel bad. But in the same vein, it doesn't mean that you're not good enough. Sometimes when I think about the amount of documents that we give to a visa officer, all in the name of trying to visit abroad, it is ridiculous. It is I don't know, we can literally just give them our life history all in the name of a visa. And so it doesn't mean that you're not good enough, or it doesn't mean that you did not submit all that is required. Sometimes because visa, giving a visa is discretionary. It is solely at the discretion of a visa officer. What then happens is that some officers, sometimes their mood can be off. They look at your paper and they see that this one, fiam. Some types of discretionary powers, sometimes it goes with the mood. It's just my opinion, I think, because you see people submit everything, fiam, they still refuse them. So I feel like sometimes those discretionary powers are just, a little bit, I don't want to say what I'm not supposed to, but I just feel like sometimes it's solely at the discretion of the officer, and the point of view of the officer is why he thinks that you're not, you're not fit to come into the country, or you're not fit to get a visa, hence a refusal. Before I move on, I would like you to watch my video where I talked about topmost reasons why people get refused. I'll put that in the description box, and I will try and put that up here as well. You can take a look at the video, watch the video, and see why people get refused for visas. And a lot of times, sometimes you can get refused with a generic refusal letter. You can get refused for a statutory reason refusal letter. It could be POF. I made mention of so many refusal reasons, so you can take a look at that video so that it would help you understand better what I am talking about. So when your refusal letter comes in and you take a look at the letter, is it the first thing that you want to ask yourself is, did I actually prove these things that I've been told that I'm being told that I didn't do? Did I prove that? You take a look at the letter. If it is something that you can actually raise a reconsideration letter for, or a web form for, I would always advise that you do that. See, let me tell you something. Me, I'm a fan of doing. I like to do. If they don't do anything about it, at least you've tried. And I'm going to give you an example. I have a friend and she got a refusal, and then she just sent an email. She sent a web form back. And when she sent a web form back to RCC, she got a visa. So the thing is, sometimes you might think that this thing is not going to work, but if you do not put some work into it, it's not going to work. So if you look at the refusal letter and you think that this is something that I can actually contest, that that it is not your fault, then you can actually raise a web form, especially when this letter, this refusal letter, it is coming as a result of their own bureaucracy, like their administrative bureaucracy, whether they said you did not put your passport, or you did not put your digital photo, or you did not put your consent, your child's consent letter. All of those reasons, you might have added it and they might have missed out on it. So those ones, you need to be able to show proof that, yes, I submitted this thing when you asked. This is a proof of it. And then it is because of your administrative bureaucracy that you people did not receive it on time. I sent it before, the deadline that you even gave me. All of those things can outturn a visa refusal. But in the second vein, there are some times that your refusal letter is so generic that you can't place anything of it. You do not know what they're talking about. They're just saying that this is why you have been refused, blah, 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 and that's it. So in that instance, what you then need to do is then need to request for a full reasoning of your refusal. Hence, you need to do that by ordering a GCMS note or a CBSA note, or just access to information from the IRCC portal. You need to request for a full reasoning of your refusal, and in that reasoning you would be able to see why an officer has stated that they cannot give you a visa. An officer has refused you. It will comprise of the full reasoning of such officer, and by then you'll be able to put yourself in a position where you know what to do, or when you want to reapply or you want to do some things, you'll be able to put yourself in a better position. So if it's a visitor's visa, you know the drill. If you're refused, if it is something that is just in terms of administrative bureaucracy, you can raise a web form, or you can even do a reconsideration letter and send it to RCC via web form. If it's a generic letter and you're not able to deal with that, particularly when your reason is statutory refusal, like you fail to declare a previous visa refusals, in that case, you just need to order a GCMS note. Order a GCMS note. Do that, get the reasoning, and reapply. While reapplying, make sure to indicate that you've already identified the issues from your previous refusals, you've dealt with it, and by dealing with it means that you are showing workings to show that you've actually sorted this thing. It's not just by mouth or by word of mouth to say that I've sorted it and it's not the case. You need to show workings to say that, oh, you've actually done this thing and here is the proof. So that's for visitor's visa. Now, coming to study, we know that there are several reasons that a student can be refused, majorly because so many reasons. I don't want to say majorly. Sometimes they can even refuse you because of your course of study not matching what you did in your undergrad, or if you are a kind of person that you just need this diploma or this graduate certificate to buffer up your other certificate. If they find it that, oh, these two things don't align, they can even refuse you. And the most common one is because of funds. Is your school fees enough for is your POF enough to carry you all through the period of your study? And as a student, I would advise that the first thing that you do when you get a refusal is to first get in touch with your school. Get in touch with your school. Let them know that is it possible to defer your admission, because sometimes all of the schools, you pay a lot of money to secure the seat. I'm just going to use Conestoga for example. Conestoga will tell you need to pay a non-refundable fee of 1,005 Canadian dollars. And that fee is not refundable whether they refuse you or not. The only way that they can keep your seat is if you've paid first leg of your tuition. Say, for example, you've paid the first part of your tuition. In that way, they can defer your admission or enroll you in another course of study. But the first thing that you need to do is to ask your school that, is it possible to defer your admission while you tackle your visa issues? That's the first thing you need to do. The second thing that you need to do is in two folds. The first one is, if you think that you are sure you submitted everything that you should, you did everything in order, everything is perfect, then you can decide to sue IRCC. It is not me, it is you. You can decide to go for a, not particularly sue, don't mind me, I'm just joking. You can decide to go for judicial review, administrative judicial review, where in this situation you hire a lawyer, an immigration lawyer who goes to court for you. The lawyer, of course, would know what to do in terms of getting leave and in terms of taking the matter to the federal court. But the truth of the matter is that is it possible that you meet up to your study time, the period you intend to study, before the judicial review becomes over? And lawyers are not cheap. In Canada, lawyers are very, very expensive. I aspire, but I'm not there yet. But what I'm just going to say is that lawyer is not, I'm hiring a lawyer in Canada is not cheap. So you need to also put into that factor that, do you really want to go for administrative review, or you want to just take a look at this application and then reapply? The choice is yours. I always say, pick your poison. Pick what works for you and deal with it till the end. Aside from judicial review, if you're being refused as a student, the other thing that you can do is order a full note, which is a full reasoning for their decision, a full reasoning for your refusal. And once you get a full reasoning for your refusal, what's going to happen next is that you would be able to put yourself in that position where you would identify all the issues that the officer has raised, all the issues the officer deemed you fit or not fit for, and then you reapply. Remember, if you've lost your admission, you need to look for another school, you need to look for another letter of acceptance. You need to really do everything all over again, which can be really stressful. But then the truth of the matter is, if you know why you were refused at first, you would then be able to put yourself in a position proper. I have somebody back-to-back study refuser, but this is because the person, sometimes it is very, very easy to say that, oh, I know what I did, without actually looking at the bigger picture. So I would always advise people, don't even try it. You don't know the mind of the officer. Order your notes. It will take a month, fine. Order those notes, look at the notes, and then apply those notes to be able to identify your issue when you're applying again for your visa. Oh my God, could you believe that I've been recording? I've been talking and I'm not recording. Oh my God. Anyway, scratch that. Let's just continue. So the thing is, I've been talking about notes and notes and notes, and I have not really, talked in essence what the note is. What is this note that I'm even talking about? So it's kind of like, it's a GCMS note or a CBSA note. CBSA are like, I kind of look for the full meaning. I can't really just crack my brain right now. I'm going to put it there. But then it's kind of like a system where you are able to get all the information from the scratch to finish. In fact, if you want to know every single document you submitted, you are able to pull that out. Those information, they have it and they're able to send it back to you. So I know that some corporations or some companies or organizations offer these services for a fee. So what they do is you give them your consent. So there's a consent letter, like a consent form that they give you to fill. You fill that and then you pay them. I think it ranges from about $15 to $29. I don't know, Canadian dollars. So you pay that to them and then they pull out the information for you. They get the information for you. The other one that you can do is called ATIP, ATIP, or access to information something on IRCC's website. I think the website itself is ATIP. So before you can access that one, you need a Canadian citizen or a Canadian PR to be able to do that for you, because if you don't have a Canadian citizen or a PR, you're not able to do that by yourself. I heard that there's a way that you're able to do that now without having to pay a fee, but I know that if you're doing it, if a Canadian citizen or a PR is doing it for you, all they need to pay is just $5 to be able to get the information on your behalf. And of course, you also have to give the person your consent to say that, oh, I am consenting for you, IRCC, to give my information to this person to let me know the reasons for my refusals. And once this notes comes in, you dissect. It's always like, sometimes it's 10 pages, sometimes it's more. You're able to dissect the information and you're able to work with the information when you want to reapply. Note what I said the other time. I said that you would also need to address all of the issues that was earlier stated in the in the notes. Finally, I have given you all of the options that you can try when you get a refusal. Order your notes, reapply, make sure that you look at the notes very, very well. And if you feel like you want to tackle, you have the money, then you can go ahead and do a JR. And don't forget that when you're doing a judicial review, which is JR, you have to remember that the school is not going to wait for you. The school is going to move on. School is going to resume. So you want to think about, and the truth of the matter is, administrative review, they will not tell you that this is when it's going to finish. Sometimes it takes weeks, months, and it can even be longer than that. So you have to pick your poison. You have to think about the fact that, what do I want to do? Do I want to wait this long? Don't want to wait this long to be able to sort things out. So you just need to tell yourself that. And in essence, like I said, identify all the issues, look at your notes properly, and then reapply. And that's the most suggestion that I would always suggest, to the fact that look at your issues and then see where you are lacking, and then see where you can do better, and then reapply. So I hope that you've been able to learn a thing or two for all of the things that I've been saying. If you get a refusal, it's not the end of the world. I'm not really a fan of, oh, it's the end of the world, oh, because I have a refusal, they're not going to give me visa again. No, people have gotten 4 refusals and they've gotten visas. People have gotten 3 refusals and they've gotten visas. It's just all about how you intend to project yourself back to the visa officer. And if you tell a visa officer that yes, you've applied before, but this is your circumstances as of now, they would want to look at the fact that, oh, this person has grown over time, this person's circumstances and status has changed. And thank you so much for sticking around till the end. If you have a comment, please do not forget to put it in the comment section. You guys interact with me, interact with me. Don't forget to put it in the comment section, and I'll see you guys back in my next video. Bye.